Filipino. Zeke Black is in the building. Um, this show is dedicated to Coach Dave. For those that's been in New York City, the five boroughs, but definitely Spanish Harlem, East Harlem, New York, Coach Dave played a major part to a lot of individuals' basketball careers, sports more say. He resides from he resides in Jefferson Projects 115th. The rapper Black Rock grew up with him. 115th from First Ave. Some of you guys might even know his brother Rock City Yo and Mel and rest in peace Big Joe. They have a annual basketball tournament. I believe they still have it in Big Park for Big Joe. Um, okay, but Coach Dave played a larger Coach Dave was a strong inspiration in a lot of individual lives, even as kids. Now me per se, I used to go to the Boys Club, the Jefferson Park Boys Club on 11th Street between First and Second, and we would play. They had this thing called junior games in sports and basketball. And at this point in time, in the mid '80s in New York City, in our neighborhood at that time, a guy named Hector Camacho was like the man. He was boxing. He was a professional boxer. But Coach Dave, they always was good with the sports. Him and his brothers was always heavy with the sports, football, basketball, and a lot of times, a lot of guys they salute the OGs by saying, "Oh, that's the first guy who gave me a gun, the first guy who gave me a joint, the first guy who gave me a pack, the first guy who inspired me to dig a pocket." But no, Coach Dave was different. He he inspired sports. He's another individual from my neighborhood that inspired basketball and sports. And he took, the generation of basketball we're talking about is the Moses Malone, Dr. J, Larry Bird, that generation of NBA players. That's when they was outside. He's older than me. A host of others. And when people see Dave, even in them late '80s when it was $1 million on the street, we always looked at him as Coach Dave. You know what I'm saying? Like you could always pull up on Dave and have an NBA basketball conversation with Coach Dave. Anytime you see him, this guy he was around, and it was dope to see that Camron has a new podcast called "It Is What It Is," and he actually had Coach Dave up there, and this is what he said. Now, definitely salute to Coach Dave. He's one of the guys that he inspired a lot of us. He inspired me. You know what I'm saying? He's just definitely somebody who inspired me. I used to live on 114th Street between First and Second, and you see Dave with sports. No matter what else was going on in the neighborhood, it was sports. It was always just get this play some basketball. And when I went to the boys club, other than Dave and them, we had the boys from Carver like Gerald Tisdale, Darnell Tisdale. Then you also had Randy Walker, Cubby Walker. You had a host of people, Deep Freeze, Mr. Substitute, as you know, was going to the boys club with us. There's a whole bunch of people that was going to the boys club. Ivan from 102nd Street, and we all seen to play sports. A lot of guys, their first stories of meeting each other is gang wars or gang wars, of course, or jail or DFY. But a lot of us met at the boys club playing these sports. I was a midget, and I finally left the boys club when I was a junior. Definitely salute. Definitely starting early, Mr. White Bills. So, Coach Dave, definitely shout out to Coach Dave and the whole Jeff Mob. Coach Dave, he was on Killer Cam's podcast. Killer Cam has a brand new podcast that's hitting the streets. Definitely Mr. White Bills is in the building. And this is what he said. That's Coach Dave with the blue shirt. Now this is Coach Dave. This is Coach Dave. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Coach Dave. He was on the podcast talking his NBA talk, his basketball talk. These guys, I tell you, at any given time, you can pull up on Dave and have these basketball talks. These are the basketball guys. It would break down certain players in our communities of the who's who. Now, a good friend of mine that I grew up with, that used to be on my block named Sugar Hill Tone, had a basketball team called Sugar Hill, and there was a guy named Ali Mo who played on his team. Some people call him the Black Widow, not Ali Mo, the drug dealer, but the basketball guy. And last night I caught a legendary live. You couldn't beat this, Mr. Sean Commodore, Mr. Commodore's brother. These guys is the basketball guys from the early 80s, early 90s. These are the who's who. Shout out to my man Kwaku. You know Kwaku from my projects, Lexington. You know what I'm saying? Kwa would have been on that stage. These are the who's who. This is when Dean Smith was coaching Carolina. These are the conversations. Rick Pitino's, Providence, before he got to Seton Hall. These are the conversations. Like you know what I'm saying? Chris Mullin and St. John's and Walter Berry and these guys are basketball guys. And I actually last night, as I was in his live, I caught a legendary live last night, party people. And I'm gonna bring this to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Definitely shout out to Coach Dave. You know what I'm saying? This is the conversation he was having.
Only thing I know is that we got a phone call and them niggas took 14 games from us. Word.
Hey, yo! The only nigga that knew everybody's birth.
Wait a minute, hold on. No. Boss Steve was Coach Dave.
The only nigga that knew everybody's real age.
Niggas started blaming Coach Dave Williams, man.
Dave went to Dave went to the LaGuardia house and got everybody's paperwork. Reported that shit to the district.
That nigga, we had a coach. Yo, bro, I never forget it. We was 14 and 0, bro. I never forget it. We was 14 and 0. Who the got his name in the Daily News and all that? We was 14 and 0. Never forget it. That coach Titterton came in, he said, yo, PSL just called me. We got a 14 games. I'm like, yo, why? We top of the city right now. Why? Yo, Ali Mo not going to school. We got his report card. You paying the coaches. You paying the teachers for niggas to pass. Yo, bro. Them niggas gave us 0 and 14, bro.
Teachers was getting high down there. Y'all niggas was giving them cracks and all that.
Let me tell you something. I love Ali Mo to death, but I ain't see Ali Mo in one class but gym. I ain't seen that nigga in one class but gym, bro. Virgil was the reason why Drew Richmond had no rims in the gym. That nigga was breaking, nigga was breaking rims and shit.
Dunking every day.
Dad, remember when we played y'all? We beat y'all on double overtime at your school.
Yeah, double overtime.
So I tried to talk to Gil, me and Gil, another group was supposed to Gil talk about I never played against. I said, Gil, you was on the team, son.
Gil was on the team.
Gil, right?
Hell yeah, he was on the team.
I said, yo, Gil, you had a few dumps against us. I know. I said, I don't forget that type of shit. We beat you on double overtime at your school. What are you talking about?
Yo, it go back. When we played against Marion Center, right? Manhattan Center had Cam. They had Cam, Rich Parker. They had
Rich was there already.
They had a crew.
They had a crew. They had the big nigga. I forgot the big nigga. The Ray Jordan. Yeah.
Well, they had a crew. Matter of fact, that year they was 21 and 0 until we beat them the last game of the year. Remember, that was 94 in the snowstorm. Remember the snowstorm? It was crazy snowstorm. It gave the legacy.
We played the Riverbank that day. We played the Riverbank that day. We played the Riverbank that day. I was like, we played the Riverbank that day.
I'm calling New York City history, goddammit.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. Man. They got PSAL. He worked his ass for it. He got us out of there. That nigga got us the fuck out of there. That nigga took the only team that could fuck with Martin Luther King. That nigga had what? Boomer? That nigga had Boomer with him.
I had Boomer. I had YT. I had Jamal Hunter. I had Vernon Willer. I had
shout out to Pop Hunter too.
my man Wally. I had my guys. We was about that life.
No, bro, y'all didn't wanna go against those Rams. Those Rams just, we was stacked. We didn't beat no Bucks, but nigga, we had a team.
Nigga, we had.
Yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. Ali Mo was probably the best nigga in the city at that time.
Ali Mo was killing them, son. Cause they was like, yo, cause my job was the defense. I was the coordinator. My job was become a game plan. I said, yo, Ali Mo, okay there. And Poodle was a motherfucker too.
Gangster was different.
Gangster was a problem, son. Yo, I would love to get the stats, but he killed us. I ain't gonna lie. And your man Fitzgerald, he's hit the pull-up jump shots and
Alfred.
And play defense.
Not a nigga chasing cars.
I was like,
Leave
You
Alfred
don't need
alone.
some nigga chasing cars, Dave. You don't need some Alfred chasing cars right now, man. You fucked up the nigga basketball career, man.
He could have made it.
He could have made it. Yo, the nigga was he was a pretty good point guard for us.
Yo, back to Kareem Reed. All the niggas I played in street ball to beat Kareem.
You know, Kareem Reed is, you know what I'm saying? This is legendary 90s basketball talk. Legendary 90s basketball talk. This is real. This is legendary 90s basketball talk. High school basketball. We can speak about the May Squad, Manhattan Center, Julie Richmond. You couldn't make this a king. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about the 90s. For those who don't know who Ali Mo is, this was the Black Widow. He played on, rest in peace, may he rest in peace. He played on a guy I know named Sugar Hill Tones basketball team. I believe I believe that year he won a championship at Rucker Park. And let me show you a picture of him. I got a picture of him. I got to stroll down a little bit. Let me give you a bad description of who Ali Mo is. From Harlem, actually. He's from Harlem, from the west side. That's when basketball was like crazy. These names was the name. This was Rucker Park. Rucker Park is crazy now, but Rucker Park was crazy. That was part of your summer. 125 40th Rucker Park, Grand Tunes. This is part of your summer mission. You know what I'm saying? And every shout out to my man Hakeem Ford out there. My man Hakeem. You know what I'm saying? You know, dudes follow the basketball players. This is somebody here at Rucker Park. If you look at the picture, that's Ali Mo. That's my man Ecuador. Rucker Park right here. That's Ali Mo right there. May he rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? That's my man Ecuador from my plot. Shout out to Washington Projects in East Harlem. You know what I'm saying? This is legendary country. Yeah. Those are really those are official OGs. These have an official OG basketball conversation. You couldn't pay for that. Those are the conversations that these guys had. These are the street ball. Those guys I had in that video. Those are the legends. Shout out to East Harlem. Shout out to Sean Commodore. Shout out to Carver Projects on the east side. See, everybody talk about the dirty streets and the killings. These guys was basketball coaches. These guys aspired to basketball. That's why it's so dope that Killer Cam had Coach Dave up there. I caught this last night. I said, yo, I gotta do a show on this because you talk about crime. These dudes was the basketball coaches, bro. These dudes was the basketball coaches. These dudes, remember these guys was in the newspapers. You know what I'm saying? A who's who. High school basketball. When New York City was like one of the major cities, these scouts was coming to the recruit. These college coaches was recruiting because of these guys. These guys created an algorithm that was crazy, very competitive. You know what I'm saying? A lot of good names came out of those years. You hear the names that came out of those basketball teams. You hear them names. If you was outside, you know, oh, whoa, wow, Boomer, oh, whoa. These guys was the who's who, man. Like I said, man, as long as I was with like Coach Dave, he always been Coach Dave. He been Coach Dave, I think, since he was like 10. You know what I'm saying? As long as we knew him, that's Coach Dave. If he wasn't Coach Dave, then he was always into sports. All his brothers was into sports, but he was just always into sports, man. I tell you, at any given time, you can have you see, you get them online, a basketball conversation, and these guys they into basketball. So with that being said, definitely shout out to Spanish Harlem. It's actually a different type of live. Mr. White Builders in the building. Salute to Coach Dave. And this is dope because my man Hip Hop's Joshua. Hell yeah, as long as we know you've been Coach Dave. You know what I'm saying? He been Coach Dave forever. You know what I'm saying? And like I told you, some dudes first encounters with OGs like that is, yo, he gave me a gun. Or we seen him selling guns. Or he was selling crack in the projects. Nah, Coach Dave gave somebody a basketball or football, but he's always been Coach Dave, man. And I'm pretty sure there's somebody out here in the NBA that he didn't help get drafted. There's a lot of kids. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of kids. There's a lot of kids that's coming from Spanish Harlem that went to college that had that because of Coach Dave. The Guardia, yo, Mr. Whitebread, they went to the Guardia House, 116th and 2nd Avenue, Guardia House. Now, we can't forget about the boys club and the basketball games at the Guardia House. Yep, you had a block, facts. Remember LaGuardia House right there on 116th. The 2nd Avenue, not 1st Avenue, but 2nd Avenue. LaGuardia House. That was the most positive thing on that block. If you go between 116, between 1st and 2nd, it was a bunch of funeral homes. Wellston or Wells, like mad funeral homes you going towards 1st Avenue where the bank was at. LaGuardia House right there in the corner, man. Then you had the boys club too, so you can't forget about, all those funeral homes on that block. Right there on 116th, you had the Guardia House. You know what I'm saying? So they brought you back. A lot of cats, shout out to my man Hector Mendez and all of them from Jeff. You know what I'm saying? My man Christian, you know what I'm saying? Dudes is going to the Guardia House too for that basketball. A lot of dudes will be bringing up the LaGuardia House tournaments and all that. The LaGuardia House, you had the boys club, you can't be out the boys club, the LaGuardia House. You had spots. I think that's why a lot of us are really into sports, you know what I'm saying? Yep, facts. 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 So definitely, man, I came to the best show with the trifecta again. I definitely came up this morning very early to bless you with the trifecta. Get in tune with Killer Cam's podcast. It is what it is. The sports podcast is dope, man. It's dope for the culture, man. And he set it off with he had Coach Dave up there, which is dope. He actually made a rhyme about Dave. How when Cam wanted to hustle, Dave was telling him, nah, son, I see you being in basketball. I see you making it in basketball. This is before he made it in rapping. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, man, Coach Dave played a part to a lot of people's stories, man. And, follow him on IG if y'all can. It's Coach, what is it? His IG is, I tell you, been Coach Dave forever. That's when you know you're an OG. When you've been Coach Dave forever. Being called, yeah, exactly. Being called a coach is being called like a triple OG in my neighborhood. Grown men call him, yo, coach. I'm 49 years old and call him Coach Dave. You know what I'm saying? 49, yo, that's Coach Dave right there. In high respect. You know what I'm saying? He don't got 5 bodies. He don't got shootings. I mean, he got busy and all that, but he's known for positive. This is the guy that goes crazy at a basketball game. You see how he knows his basketball game. He knows his basketball. That basketball, and there's a group of guys like him that inspire, that they get around each other and have these basketball talks. And they have these tournaments, and they have these, they do a lot for these communities with this basketball seminars and all that. These guys are plugged in. They're not big-time drug dealers. They just love, they found something positive to do, something legal to do. Hell yeah, you get busy, man. You know what I'm saying? not, you know what I'm saying? That's the OG right there, man. I'm gonna tell people, part of people what his IG is, man. You know, just jump in there and show him some love, man. My man, Coach Dave, the OG, I think it's Coach Ready. Thing, man. You know what I'm saying? That's that in the family, exactly. Definitely rest in peace, Big Joe. You know what I'm saying? It's funny because when I remember when we all went to the boys club, and these guys was popping with the sports, the junior games and all that. You know what I'm saying? There was those games in the basketball gym, and you know we just played basketball, we played football. You had this soccer going on. So I'm saying exactly the legend. You know what I'm saying? Definitely 115 from first. Definitely salute to you know, the Jeff Mob, man. I'm saying Jefferson Projects. You know what I'm saying? You know what would be a dope interview for Queens Flip, to be honest with you? For him to interview Coach Dave in Rock City. That right there be a legendary 90s interview. Because Rock just wasn't in the street. Rock played a lot of sports in the streets. He was a part of the culture that played around with a lot of these guys that's executives in this hip hop business. Namely the so, there's a lot of guys that work for Rock Nation that played sports with these guys. A lot of guys that work for Rough Riders that played sports. And they can bring out a lot, even though you got these record labels and these entourages, there was a lot of dudes that was connected through sports. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of history right there. A lot of dudes don't know that you know, Black Rob, 115 and first, that's when he was around. Black Rob. Give a shout out to my man El Barrio Merce out there, you know what I'm saying? El Barrio Merce from Jefferson, you know what I'm saying? This is definitely a dope morning, good energy, positive energy. This Coach Dave brought me back into the generation of when, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Other than just took all that crazy dudes had sports, man. And you know what I'm saying? So he gave a lot of dudes. There's a lot of dudes that came up out that was able to make it out the hood because the distraction was sports, basketball. You know, we play basketball, we join the basketball team, and you know what I'm saying. Then we get a job, and then we get. You know what I'm saying. So he definitely played a large part to a lot of people's success. Yeah, there's a lot of dudes. That'd be a dope interview. Queens Flip, you should work on that. Rock City, yo. Coach Dave on your couch. You'd be surprised some of your favorite NBA players that this guy has coached. Some of your favorite college players that this man has coached. The years when Manhattan Center was rocking, when PSAL League was going crazy. You know what I'm saying? The Stephon Marbury days to when George Washington, when G-Dub had a squad, and those years, man. Yes, definitely. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, you know, it's early in the morning, man. It's definitely early in the morning, man. Yeah, we shout out to my man, yo, when it was ill with the sports, my man, Chase, you know Chase from Washington. He was nice too. Chase was nice, man. Hold on one second. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know Chase was nice, you know what I'm saying? Chase from Wash, he was nice too in basketball, football, and all that stuff. My man Chase. Some people call him Sugar Hill Chase. You know Chase, Charles Black, you know what I'm saying? See, when we begin, hell yeah, he deserves his flowers, man. Jeff Mob, Coach Dave. Definitely definitely salute to the home team, man. We do this for the people, you know what I'm saying? Definitely gotta salute the people, man. We definitely gotta salute the people, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely salute to, you know, my boys from Washington, my man Chase and all of them, you know what I'm saying? My man Twizzy, you know what I'm saying? Definitely shout out to my man Sugar Chase. Yeah, so the dude was nice with that basketball thing, doing anything with them sports, getting crazy. I mean, Chase was nice too, you know what I'm saying? I think Chase was on that team too. Some of the reason I think Chase played. Yeah, I think Chase was on that championship squad that won that record. You know what I'm saying? Now a lot of people, I remember they won it. Then the next year, Fat Joe won the Teller squad. The Teller squad won it after. But Sugar Hill won it the first one. And Ali Mo was on that squad. Definitely shout out to Heck and all of them. You know what I'm saying? Sugar Hill Tony. He must be home. He out here somewhere. But with that being said, man, you guys, it's dope. I did the trifecta again. Shout out to Spanish Harlem, where I'm from, New York, Washington Project. Shout out to Forster, 112, 115. My man, Mr. Whitebill's in the building. I have to give my flowers to Coach Dave. He played a major part, positive in those dirty 90s, the double Ds, the triple Ds, dirty, dingy. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Yes. Dangerous 90s, dirty, dingy, and dangerous 90s. You know what I'm saying? He played a major part to that culture, from street ball to dudes going to D1 to some dudes going to the NBA. A man from Jefferson Project. So other than TK, Tony Stone, UFO Feeve, Black Rob, you also Chill Will from the East Side, yeah, and a host of others. This guy played a major part. Yeah, Felipe Lopez, I'm saying Rice and all that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is when dudes really was leaving the block going to basketball games. Like dudes was going to Riverbank and LaGuardia House and Gauchos. Dudes that was getting that was just part of the culture of the streets back then. You know what I'm saying? The streets is different now, though. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said it wasn't cool to have a lot of drama, a lot of beef. It wasn't cool for that because you want to make your rounds and pull up. You know what I'm saying? Millbank. You know what I'm saying? You could be pulling up with all that drama and beef. You know what I'm saying? That's where everybody was at, these basketball games. Yo, where we going? Going to Millbank. What? Boom. Because dudes went where the chicks went. You know what I'm saying? Dudes will lead the block. Where we going? We going to Rocker. Yo, where we going? These spots. Definitely shouts out to Boys Harbor. Can't forget about Boys Harbor on the east side by Carver. Spots, you know what I'm saying? PS 198, a little basketball thing going on in that school on 96th Street and 3rd Avenue. Exactly. Dudes will lead a block, yep. No difference between Fifth and Madison. Facts, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? And I got the trifecta 2 more days. I got another trifecta coming for you guys. You heard? So with that being said, Feed the Wolves, the trifecta. We did it again. We done put out 3 videos in 24 hours. Hope you appreciate it. This is dope. Definitely Mr. Mike Bills, we in the building. Rest in peace to David Reyes. Rest in peace to my brother Nelson. We here, we in the building. Shout out to my man Money D from Chi-Town, and Angel from Chi-Town, and Wifey from West Side St. Louis, Missouri. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, definitely shout out to the brothers out there in East St. Louis and all the ball players, all the street ball players, D1 ball players. Definitely gotta give Coach David. We definitely have to give Coach Dave his flowers. With that being said, peace.